Karnataka is blessed with a variety of geographical features, landscapes, and rich agroclimatic conditions. The evergreen rich forests and the mountain ranges called the Western Ghats that run almost parallel to the west coast of Karnataka are not only a feast to the eyes but are a treasure trove of energy, water, timber, wildlife, and a variety of minerals and the like. Equally important, if not more, are the forests and the ecosystems of the Deccan Plateau and the plain grasslands and the scrubby jungles of the North Karnataka region. Ranebennur Black Buck Sanctuary, with an area of 119 square kilometers, which is situated in Haveri district of Karnataka, is an important location and a home for the black bucks and a great Indian bustard. The Ranebennur Black Buck Sanctuary was declared in 1974 with an enhanced legal status for conservation of the protected antelope, the black buck. The terrain is mainly of plain land with interspersed hillocks at the periphery, and the vegetation is mainly of grasslands, plains, and scrub jungle. This vast grassy and shrubby terrain is a home for a variety of animals and birds such as the great Indian bustard, bush quail, grey partridge, black bucks, wolves, and jackals. The population of the black bucks during the last census was estimated to be around 5,000. The most critically threatened and endangered bird, the great Indian bustard, coexisted in this sanctuary, proving that this was a most ideal breeding ground for these endangered birds. Mr. Anand, how much do you know about these birds? Will you please tell us? I have seen these birds in and around these villages, at least once or twice in a year. I have seen the bustards while driving my motorcycle. Sometimes I have seen 1 and 2 and even 4 bustards in this place. How many birds do you think are here? I am sure there are at least 4 to 5 birds here, which I have seen actually, and at least 1 or 2 in other surrounding villages. The great Indian bustards were breeding here till 1999. But now they are facing many threats, which have led to the decline of their population drastically. The great Indian bustard, endemic to India and Pakistan, are now found only in 5 states of India, while they have become extinct in Pakistan. The population of this bird is estimated around 500. Only small population, say around 100 of them, exist in Karnataka and Andhra Pradesh. And the last stronghold of the species is in the semi-deserts of extreme western Rajasthan in India. The great Indian bustard is classified as endangered because of its tiny declining population, a result of hunting and poaching and increased human interference.
This bird is very rare. Once upon a time, the report says there were 6,500 in India and Pakistan. Of late, in September 2005, they had a census widely conducted. That census reveals that only 490 exist, and in India that 490 exist, and Pakistan it has been extinct forever. So the reason being that one is the habitat loss, what people say that there is no grassland plain left still more. Second thing is the poaching. People believe that it has very tasty meat, for that purpose they do catch it. And third reason being that there are predators, lot of predators which actually wolves and jackal, they do take shelter behind the bush, and this bird is very shy. It doesn't like any disturbance, and whenever there is some movement it will run away. Even it will abandon the eggs and run away. That moment these predators will predate on the eggs and eat them up. So this is the reason why the shy nature also contributed the loss in the bird population. The other being grazing, lot of shepherds grazing. These birds do not build nest. They lay the eggs on the open area.
The International Union for Conservation of Nature and Natural Resources has warned that the great Indian bustard, found across the arid and semi-arid grasslands in India and Pakistan, would soon be a legend of the past and will be extinct within a decade if some measures are not taken urgently. The great Indian bustards were earlier found to be present in 15 different places of Karnataka, such as Davangere, Chitradurga, Guttal in Haveri, Belgaum, Gajendragad of Gadag district, Bukkapatna, Tumkur, Bangalore, Bihar Hills, and the like. Presently, it is confined only to Ranebennur Blackbuck Sanctuary. But since it is a grassland and landscape bird, it is sometimes difficult to pinpoint only to a particular location. Mr. B.S. Kulkarni, the headmaster of MES High School in Sholapur of Maharashtra, and a keen bird watcher and ornithologist, says that you need to study in great depths the bird's behavior and its preferences for a particular habitat. At the Nanaj Great Indian Bustard Sanctuary in Sholapur, where Mr. Kulkarni has captured the sight of the male Great Indian Bustard in love-making scenes with its mate, describes the whole process in all its grandiloquence. In the evening, he says, I heard a call of a male. It was deep whooping. It attracts the female. Sometimes it is harsh but alerts the flock. Sometimes it is soft hook for mating call. But the sound of the call is sonorous and can be heard over long distances. Great Indian bustards are unique birds. They thrive on locusts, beetles, and other insects and lizards. They also taste grain shoots for a change. The diet consists of bajra leaves, caparis, and also snails. Their usual habitat is the moors, but they usually forage for food in the low-standing crops. When they walk in the fields, insects fly up to their mouths, hence they can eat without straining their necks. There is also something royal and sophisticated about the way they move and walk. They don't fly all of a sudden like other ordinary winged creatures. They take time, move fast on the ground like an aeroplane, and then take off. The great Indian bustard, indeed, is a majestic bird. Its royal gait, long neck, keen watchful eyes, and attractive posture have themselves been the main attraction for the hunters and poachers. There have been several reasons for the rapid decline in the bustard population, and the chief reason among them being the gradual disappearance of their habitat. Since it is a large-sized bird, many believe it to contain special meat and hence kill them for medicinal purposes. And some hunt them believing it to be tasty and also for aphrodisiac reasons. A young man, Prakash, belonging to the Lamani Tanda in Guttal, told us that they used to consume the eggs laid by the bustard near their village. He once wanted to kill the bird, but it flew away, he said.
I came from that side and tried to hit the bird with a stone. Since this tree was there, the stone did not hit the bird, but stone fell by the side of the bird. Then the bird ran away. It ran like this for a while, and then it took off. I followed the bird till there, but it did not help. the bird was already in the sky.
Prakash, he belongs to the Lamani Tanda, the Guttal Tanda. He is the man who sighted the bird, the Indian great bustard. He saw the bird about more than 1 year, 4 months ago, in the same place. He says that he came and he saw the bird. He wanted to catch it. So next day they came and they put a net to catch the bird, but unfortunately the bird could not get into the net. But there were 2 eggs, big eggs. He tried to kill the bird with a big stone, but he could not hit the bird. Meanwhile, the bird started running away. And he explains that it went slowly. This is the way the bird went on. I mean, it went running, and after a while, it took a flight that way. And he brought one, egg along with him.
Because one has been damaged.
One was damaged.
One was damaged.
The other he took it home, and he made a lovely omelette out of that, and he ate.
Now he regrets.
Now he regrets.
What will you do if you see the birds again?
I will protect them, and I think that my life is worth lived if they are protected.
He says he regrets now for having eaten the egg and also tried to kill the bird. He said he will never do it again because he has now realized the importance of that bird, which is a very rare species in this country. And he says he will try to protect in case he sights the bird again. Please keep this visiting card. And if you ever spot the bird anywhere around, call this number immediately. Okay?
Yes, sir.
The great Indian bustard lays only 1 egg once a year. A recent survey commissioned by Mr. A.K. Verma, the Principal Chief Conservator of Forest, Wildlife Division, Karnataka, to find out the current status of the great Indian bustard and the blackbucks at Ranebennur Blackbuck Sanctuary, has come out with several findings as to why the bustard's population is declining and how to improve the conditions at the sanctuary to make it a breeding ground for the bustards. Mr. Harish Bhatt from the Center for Ecological Sciences, along with Nisarga Institute for Wildlife Academy, which conducted the survey, also found it necessary to launch an awareness campaign in the surrounding villages of the sanctuary about the importance of protecting and preserving the great Indian bustard, which is a rare species in the country.
When we were working on this, we came across a lot of secondary data which was given by a lot of villagers and people who move around the sanctuary, that they have seen the bird in the last couple of months before, some days before. So these places we have gone, we have taken the GPS location of it, and we have also made a photography documentation of it, just to analyze like what is the kind of place it prefers to be.
Interestingly, the people in the villages have responded positively to the idea of protecting the bustards. Many of them also recount how they used to see the birds when working in the fields or otherwise. The members of the survey team walked miles and miles to see the spots where the birds were sighted by the villagers. Although it was arduous, traversing and walking long distances in the hot sun, it was worth the trouble as it helped understand the behavior and reasons for the bustards' movements. And also helped understand why the birds weren't found in the sanctuary the way they were sighted before. The awareness campaign had generated such an interest and enthusiasm among the people around that there came an information that a couple of great Indian bustards were sighted in Chiruguppa Taluk of Bellary district by bird watchers Anand and Santosh. We were so eager to see the bustards, and bang, we were there the next day. The local forest officials, the cameraman with his assistants, the members of the survey team, all went around and waited for hours to sight the great bustard. One was just there, behind the bush, but we could notice it, and as we advanced, it took off from there. The whole team was thoroughly disappointed. But then, at some other spot, some of our members had stood still, watching something, and that happened to be another bustard. Oh, it looked so magnificent, but surely lonely, for its companion had taken off just a little while ago. The camera was trying to capture its moods, pose, and other details. The bird knew that so many of us were watching it. It didn't like us to be there, watching its helplessness. Obviously, it was under stress. Perhaps it was annoyed, and in disgust, it flew off. But we were happy to see it take off and fly away to freedom. Our greatest satisfaction was that the bustards are still there in Karnataka. What we need to do is to take care to see that they are not threatened and scared. We need to tell people who get to see them that they are a rare species, precious gifts of nature, and our great pride, that they are nowhere there in the world except in India, and hence we must protect them.
ರಾಜ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಮತ್ತು ರಾಷ್ಟ್ರದಲ್ಲಿ ಗುರುತಿಸುವಂತ ಕೆಲಸ ಆಗ್ತದೆ.
Identifying the great Indian bustards in the state and the country is being done. It is heartening to learn that these birds are to be found only in our country. Forest officials and environmentalists say that there were about 10-15 birds here some years ago. Now they will explain about the efforts being made to protect them. The great Indian bustard, which are called by the local names such as Gunjan and Yarladdu, were here in large numbers and are even to be found in some numbers today. Some local people of Guttal Tanda even say where they sighted the birds and how they fly. They say they spotted 2 birds 15 days ago. The birds may not be found in the sanctuary, but they are somewhere here around. It is a matter of pride that they are found in Ranebennur area and that they have also laid eggs here. Ranebennur Blackbuck Sanctuary is indeed a great location. The shrubby forests, which sometimes look like African jungle, the rolling grasslands, the distant peripheral landscapes, interspersed with hillocks, provide a unique habitat for the respective wildlife. The blackbucks live here in great abandon. They are undisturbed and in their own world. But of course, there are the predators stalking them all the time. The stark truth that life depends on another life cannot be wished away. There are also some threats to the blackbucks of late. It is learned that the blackbucks often stray into the neighboring agricultural fields in search of food. Some farmers say that many times the crops are destroyed by the blackbucks. The forest department has to give the farmers adequate compensation for the vandalism by the blackbucks. If there is a delay, the farmers take revenge against the blackbucks. But there are also reports that suggest that blackbucks are hunted both for the meat and skin. The hunters come and meet people like us. They come to hunt the blackbucks. They also entice us by promising to give us some meat. We get tempted and assist them. They normally bring the vehicle, wear the headlights and long boots up to the knees. They move slowly, and as they spot the animal, they shoot. What they do is dissect the animal on the spot and pack the meat, also giving us some portion of it. This is how they use village leaders like me and carry on the operation. This needs to be stopped, and for which there has to be a strict vigilance over the suspicious activities and movements of certain people suspected to trade in such items. Another important aspect of this preservation program, which the survey commissioned by the Forest Department suggests, is the removal of the eucalyptus trees. The eucalyptus plantation, which started in 1956 to provide some shelter and some cover for the blackbucks and the great Indian bustards, has virtually negated its very purpose and usefulness. Both the bustards and the blackbucks need vast open terrain and grasslands. The bustards run fast underground before taking off to escape from their predators. So also the blackbucks as they leap into the air. The eucalyptus trees block their fast movements, thereby rendering them ineffective, and the poor animals become an easy prey. One of the reasons for bustards not preferring to stay at the sanctuary is the degeneration of the habitat.
Now, great Indian bustard, they must have open space to run and then take off, like aircraft. They are very heavy, they are quite tall, quite heavy. And they just can't lift like that and go away. So, they need a runway or open space, grassland. It is, wherever grassland bird, let me put it that way. Let me put it that way, where they feel safe, they can see people coming, they get their food. What is their food? I mean, they, of course, insects, locusts, even some small birds, grasshoppers, and all these are the, which they get in the grassland. And you see, because being a desert bird, they don't need too much of water supply and all that. You see, for example, even summer, where it is intense summer heat, just once a day is enough for them. And in winter, once they will drink in 2 days. So that is like true desert animal.
If suitable measures are taken in right earnest to improve the habitat and provide necessary inputs, Ranebennur Blackbuck Sanctuary will bloom with abundant blackbucks and the fascinating great Indian bustards.